I think he's just the face they need, right? I think he's just the face that they need from the corporation right now. It's still, the machine is still rolling, still doing what they're doing. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much what it is. And I don't, you know, to make it a little clearer, I don't see any real changes, you know, because it's, you know, it's pretty much the same, you know, just the black face. And I just have to say this on the African American, you know, my position is that, you know, President Obama, he don't come from where I come from. So actually, in that context, he doesn't represent me. He's not a descendant of slaves. He's just a black man. He's born in what, Kenya or something like that? You know, so he's not like me. My forefathers were I mean, I got 1870 census that I know that my people were slaves in this country, right? So he don't come from that. So in that sense, I don't identify with it. But, you know, I'll just say this, it's been said that black is beautiful, but it's not sufficient. So I'll leave it like that. Yes, ma'am.
My question is, besides the lack of leadership in the black community, what other factors contributed to the split or prevented the Crips and the Bloods from uniting?
What other factors? I mean, when reality became, you know, again, we're talking about the legacy of slavery or the political, social factors. I mean, these guys are just ignorant, collectively. So they're doing things, you know, so it's manifested rather in negative behavior, you know? And so, again, what happens is that, you know, again, human nature is that groups of people are going to come together to protect their neighborhoods and things like that. And so what happens is you got certain areas of blacks that became Crips and some became Bloods, and so they defined the other group as their enemies, and so it escalated into like killing. And so once lives start being lost, like one brother was saying on a documentary, he ain't trying to hit on peace because he got too many scars, right? That's when it's the humanness of the situation comes. It's just, they hurt. Loss of loved ones, so they're not thinking about, you know, blackness and nothing like that. They're thinking about, I lost a loved one, and these people responsible, they my enemies, you know. So the mentality really, again, they don't know why they're doing what they do, you know. So really, the way I see it is just that they have to be properly educated, you know, and understand that, you know, it just ain't nobody. Well, I mean, what I tell them is that ain't nobody winning this. You know, we all losing.
But I guess my question is, why did they come up in the first place? Like, why did these different gangs, you know, come up? Was it because of the lack of leadership in the black community? Is that the main reason? I would definitely say so. You know, and
I'll you know, quote like Sheikh Anta Diop, right? Rahimahullah. He talks about people, when the people don't have history, right? How they begin to act barbaric and things like this. And this is also a tool of the colonialists, you know what I mean, and imperialists, which African Americans have been the victims of in this country. What's known as domestic colonization and things like that. All those are factors. So you have people that have no knowledge of themselves. You know, you have economic issues. And so again, but I think primarily, there's no leadership. Because again, you had people like Bunchy Carter who came from that and was able to transform that gang element, right? And if y'all haven't seen, y'all should really check out the documentary 41st Central on the LA chapter of the Black Panther Party. It's an excellent documentary that kind of highlights Bunchy Carter's work. But primarily, yeah, no leadership. You know, no leadership. And so you just had these males whose male aggression was misdirected. You know, and pretty much, you know, how do we get from what 40, 50 years ago? I mean, we was getting water holes, couldn't vote, and all that kind of stuff. How do we get from that to Bloods and Crips killing one another? I mean, this is a question that we should be asking ourselves. How do we get from that? In the 60s, black folks couldn't vote. And then like 5 or 10 years later, we killing one another. I mean, we should really want to know why. You know, but again, you know, my contention is again with the assassination of our leaders, in particular, Al-Haj Malik al-Shabazz, Malcolm X, rahimahullah, collectively, our community, African American, has been on the decline, because I believe that Malcolm's solution was the most viable, because he was Muslim.
Sean, we'll take one last question.
In the 1980s, there was a lot of political upheaval, and like people in the hood were coming up, and there are leaders, like you said, right? And even the music portrayed that. You know, what happened between the late 1980s, the early 90s, and the 2000s? Like, where did this extreme of people were long against the government, getting their rights back, they wanted better education and stuff like that. Where did that stream towards? Like nowadays, like there's no leader that you said what is caused that decline.
What is called what, the overall consciousness?
Yeah,
Decline of consciousness. I mean, you know, again, at that point, again, no leadership. I mean, you have guys, I mean, again, like Monster Cody, Sayyid Shakur, these guys just pretty much could be Malcolm, another Malcolm rather. But they were gangbangers. And why did they become gangs? It's like, you know, matter of fact, he said himself in the book, Do or Die. You all should read his books if you haven't, to really get a first-hand account of the gang situation in LA. Because I mean, this was somebody that was a for real live participant, you know? But he said in the book Do or Die, he said if I had been born in 53 instead of 63, I would have been a Black Panther. You know, but he said because he had the desire to be a part of something powerful, and that's what most males, when they want to be a part of something that's strong, right? But he said when he grew up, the only thing that was in his community was the Crips, and so that's what he joined, right? And so these people that had the leadership potential were victims of the environment, victims of injustice, victims of the whole system, and being miseducated and things like that. And then but then you also have the media plays a role in all of that. You know, you look at the hip hop thing, you know, where we used to have, you know, in the 90s we had like conscious rap, Public Enemy, and different things like that that really was raising the consciousness up. See, all those is factors, the media, all of that. But now we got guys telling us to get rich or die trying. What kind of foolishness is this? You know, this is what the youth are really, you know what I mean? So those are factors, the media. It's just, again, the removal of our leadership, you know, and the miseducation of the people. You know, but you have, you know, and you have quite a few people that could be potential leaders, but they don't have the resources and the help. You know, a lot of them is sitting in prison cells or in exile, things like that, for some reason. You know, so it's many factors. You know, I welcome to get with any of you and work together in a common cause, you know, for what's right. So again, may Allah guide. That was it, huh? That was it. May Allah, this is a blessing again. May Allah reward you all. You know, we need more forums like this. You know, you know, so keep up the good work. You know.
I'd like to, on behalf of MSU, thank you for speaking to us, and thank all of you guys for attending our first event. Inshallah, we have more coming up, so please, I believe all the information you can find on the web, msu-uci.com. Otherwise, we have tons of flyers around. We have tomorrow, I believe, an event at 12 p.m. Dictators in the Muslim world, location at the flagpoles. And otherwise, our concluding event is on Thursday, spoken word event featuring Amir Suleiman, and an open mic night for, I guess, your story, one people, one struggle, your personal stories of experiencing prejudice, experiencing injustice, and inshallah some spoken word as well. Thank you for coming out, and